Coach Bailey with us now from Scotland High School. Coach, I know it's been a tough offseason for you guys so far, but can you give us an update on Jalen and how he's doing?
Well, the offseason was pretty good until a few days ago, actually. But Jalen's doing better, but it's a relative thing. Better right now. It's small baby steps, and every time it seems like we get going in the right direction, there's some setbacks. But you know, when you have a traumatic brain injury like this, that you know, the doctors say sometimes it's got to get worse before it gets better, and we've had some worse times. Hopefully, the other night he had a bad night, and I told the nurses, I said, I hope this is the worst part and that we're just going to get better from here. But the doctors feel pretty good about where he's at. He's made some baby steps as far as, you know, being able to move things and recognize things, and you know, we're working on him coming off his breathing, you know, breathing tube and things like that. So the doctors feel good about where he's at right now, and he's in stable condition, but you know, still very critical. And like I said, when you're talking about the brain, things can go bad in a hurry. So you know, I don't want to get too upbeat, but I do feel pretty positive right now.
Very good. And I know it, obviously, right at the beginning, right before the season, practice gets underway, you've got that setback. Obviously, turn your focus toward the team that you have on the field right now. What do you expect this year from these guys, being a state runner-up last year, to take that next step? What has to happen?
Well, I mean, obviously, we have high expectations every year, at least in the last few years at Scotland High School, and we have a great group of kids coming back, and you know, we have a great defense, and like I told our kids the other day, we didn't lose anybody off that field, you know, off the defensive side of the ball, and we're gonna be a very good defensive unit, I think. And offensively, we still got some really good playmakers. We got a lot of offensive linemen back. You know, usually you have a whole off season to find a new quarterback, and don't get me wrong, we have a quarterback that was, you know, I used to kid him all the time that he was an ankle sprain away. I didn't know he was going to be an accident, you know, and obviously he wasn't ready for it right now. He didn't want it right now, but unfortunately, Deshaun Ferguson's probably going to start the season as our quarterback, and Ty McLaurin, who played slot for us as a freshman last year, will probably be his backup, but hopefully pushing him, you know, because we want a little competition there for the job. But you know, we still have high expectations. We feel like we're still going to be a very, very good football team. Obviously, we're going to have to change things a little bit offensively because we've been sort of Jalen Ratliff centered. You know, the world, the universe has kind of turned around him, you know, as far as offensively. So we'll change things up a little bit. But like I said, I still like our team and I like our coaching staff, and obviously our kids have something to play for.
And what do you expect to see from this conference? I know, obviously, a lot of times it's been Scotland and Richmond, and now Pinecrest has kind of gotten there, and you've got so what do you expect to see this year as you go through the conference season?
Well, obviously Richmond's going to be Richmond. They've had some really good JV teams the last few years. I feel like they have closed the gap, if you will, on Scotland County the last couple of years. Pinecrest, like you're saying, Coach Metzger does a great job with those kids, and they're knocking on the door. And then, you know, you have some coaching changes at Lumberton and Hope County, so you know, that kind of dawn of new eras there, and you sort of wait and see. But I feel, you know, they got good players, they got good athletes, and I'm sure they're, you know, ready to go out there and prove that they're going in the right direction as well. And of course, Purnell Sweat and Coach Heil, you know, he's a veteran. He can get the most out of his kids, and we'll just see. So I think it's a very balanced league, and I think the gap between the top and the bottom teams is kind of reduced here in the last few years maybe. But you know, anything less than a conference championship is a disappointment for us. So that's our goal, and it hasn't changed.
Very good. Thank you, Coach. We appreciate your time, and best of luck this season.